nobody yet, but soon.
Oh, there's people.
I remember how the
There's
D&D.
always people. There's always people.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. It just hasn't registered it on my thing yet.
Yeah.
Well, hello for those who are here. Session 19. Oh, hello. Hi, Nine. Session 19, and
I do want to say that your stream doesn't show anything visually for me, though.
Oh, I
I'm,
see.
I'm, I'm
There it
seeing
is.
it.
It's just there. It is.
okay.
Twitch
Yeah,
wants to be
sorry.
Twitch.
Sorry, Evolved has come through to you two now. Sorry.
No.
I hope you enjoyed the good times while they lasted.
We're
back to the gelato cube.
Back to trying to keep these sessions semi-regular. We'll probably be skipping next week, right? But then
bi-weekly probably.
Yeah,
probably
bi-weekly
safer
at this point. Yeah. But we're happy to be back and get back into session. We want to try to jump in fairly soon. So what I'm gonna do is just go straight into the Krakus song that we never got to listen to before. Because I mean that's just a shame because he is marvelously talented.
Very much so.
Yeah, makes me feel sick how talented he is.
I know.
A
How
lot
dare
of people
he?
in the community are extremely talented.
How dare he be that talented?
Right? Like,
I'm sure he's very sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine that, if he ever got to meet me in real life, he'd look down at the ground and go, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm talented. And so you should be.
My stinking creativity. All right, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this song.
Oh, look, Holly's talking about me in chat already. Oh, thanks, Holly.
Hello.
why is my chat being a turd? I can't see chat. Come on, chat.
What is up with Twitch, then?
You also are being kicked from everything off of Twitch. You know?
There's the chat. Because you're like,
What?
hi,
Why-
Nine. I was like, I'm
Why are we
seeing no
kicking
one.
Aqua off
Hi.
things? Don't kick Aqua off things.
No.
She's the only one who takes notes.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have notes from last session?
I do have notes from last session.
Sir,
Oh, you're a
What about
teacher's
the one before that?
pet. Oh.
And I have notes from. Look at all the notes I've taken.
Okay, but like also,
Looks like a blank page
I
from what I
take
see.
note
No,
that
I
you
mean
are
the
wearing a red
thickness.
sweater, so there's that. You know.
Well, I mean, okay, stalking me doesn't count on taking notes on the average.
It should. I should get some credit at some point in our relationship here. Give me some credit.
If by credit you mean a restraining order, then you can have all the credit you like.
I agree with this.
I reject this. I reject this.
Mhm.
I silence all of you.
If I wasn't living rent-free in the vent.
Yeah. You know what?
Wasn't
Me and
living
Becky don't
rent-free in her
understand what
head.
stalking means. Because honestly, it's like we made the very reasonable agreement that he would stop filming everything and he would turn off all the cameras if he could move into my vent. And I felt like, yeah, like that's what a real friendship is just like those little, concessions that you make to each other. So I'm, maybe just a couple pat on the heads for a light stalking instead of the heavy stalking that I could do. All right, Aldous, like
You got to bounce off his face when you were a cat.
God damn it, I'm playing the song.
Good. Good is the word. I said a good. Good is the word. Have you heard about the word?
I've missed our dysfunctional family.
Oh, God, same.
Good is the word. I said a good.
I don't think my lungs are going to hold out very long.
Wait, she's playing a song,
I
but
was
it sounds
playing
really low.
I couldn't hear a song.
Yeah, something's not going right with it.
Hang on.
I'll restart it. You guys were talking during the song. Okay, here we go.
Good. Good is the word. I said a good. Good is the word. Have you heard about the word? Everybody's heard the word. Good. Good is the word. I said a good. Good is the word. Meow. Sweet screams are made with girth. Laughter hits a new crescendo. She takes it all in for all she's worth. Penny's there with fun innuendo. Sometimes she will poo-poo you. Sometimes she is poo-pooed by you. Sometimes she poops in your shoes. Sometimes her shoes are pooped in by you. Hey. Secret tunnels for searching. Grumbly's out front, the others trust him. He comes to a crack and can't stop smirking. Here comes Truly, ready to thrust in. Slide your head in, thrust your head in, moving on. Slide your head in, moving on. Thrust your head in, moving on. Slide your head in, moving on. Thrust your head in, moving on. Slide your head in, moving on. Thrust your head in. Demaya can't get a good roll. Humphrey's no help back to his bowl. Adrian's just there with his troll. Demaya just growls, thinks he's an arsehole. Knock his block off. Smack his block off, moving on. Knock his block off, moving on. Smack his block off, moving on. Knock his block off, moving on. Smack his block off, moving on. Knock his block off, moving on. Smack his block off. Floor traps are in the way. What the hell can they all do? They've decided to jump in the style of ballet. Grumbly will look great in a tutu. Strange dreams come to fruition. Grandpa's bones cause veneration. They're standing in awe and quiet reflection. Adrian loots no consideration. Sweet prizes they deserve. Grumbly discovers a mithril shirt. Demaya's excited by a shield that returns. Adrian's chalice, he's licking out dirt. Sweet streams with our own BH. We're all here to offer torment. We've travelled the net and the world of Twitch. Everybody's loving this content. Sweet streams with our own BH. We're all here to offer torment. We've travelled the net and the world of Twitch.
Nobody could say. Nobody could say.
Like, who's the biatch though? You know, that's it. That wasn't clear. I feel that wasn't clear.
I don't think it's Demea.
I feel like it should be Demea.
Oh, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, evolved. There we go. Okay, that's I feel comfortable with that. Thank you, Nine.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but also, you know, like, why always me? Anyways, let's move past that. We're short on time.
Why it's always you.
You don't get wrecked. Aldous, if you wanted to go ahead and do the recap, we can jump right into opening animation and then live session, and I'll stop asking why me, and Evolved will stop being a dirty little bitch.
No.
Okay. So, in our last session, the party displayed their usual boldness and daring by exploring a dungeon and finding a secret door and then standing around for half an hour making innuendo jokes about squeezing down a small passage.
What?
Wait, we did?
That doesn't sound
They
like us
found
at all.
they found some treasure. They got confused about why the treasure was there. They decided to take the treasure. They argued about how best to step over a small trap that was about 1 foot wide. They moved boldly down a corridor until they found a large set of doors. Whereupon Grumbly, with absolutely no hinting from the DM, recognized it from one of the dreams, which of course he remembered from a previous session. And he used this knowledge that he had totally remembered on his own to find a secret door. Adrian helpfully climbed and sat on top of the secret door in order to open it. Which of course it absolutely worked, and anyone who says that someone else opened it while he was uselessly sitting on top of the door is obviously a filthy liar.
Spider powers.
They entered into a chamber behind the secret door where they found a guardian of this temple, a dwarf with an affinity for bacon, and apparently a relation to Grumbly. There was a moment of quiet mourning, only slightly spoiled by Adrian attempting to wrench a necklace off the corpse of the ancestor.
He didn't attempt. He succeeded.
A couple of relics were found. Naturally, the stocky dwarf took the chainmail that would help with stealth. And having discovered the corpse of his family member and a shield with his family's crest on it, he immediately gave that away to the tiefling stood next to him, because of course our party always makes sense, and I in no way have to plan for them all doing silly things. After that, they looked around a room some more. Adrian stuck his tongue into a centuries-old chalice that may or may not have been poisoned, but he didn't die, so it probably wasn't. And at that point, we more or less entered the session.
I really love, the thing I love about Aldous the most is how genuine he sounds when he's saying that, you know, he really believes in us and he's not frustrated at all. That's the thing I love about Aldous the most. His sincerity, yeah. And lack of sarcasm.
No sarcasm whatsoever.
There is no sarcasm whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. And we would never say British sass around
Nope.
Alsace. Yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, on that note, opening animation.
Oh, God, save me, Vault.
On that note, as you lovely people know, we yes, those are Mommy's dice. We're going to kind of go back. We're going to go into session where we will engage with chat in chat, but not verbally, as we will be in session. And take it away, Sir DM.
Okay, so you guys find yourselves in the dungeon. A solemn-looking Grumbly kneels by the remains of his ancestor. A curious-looking Truly stands by a small shrine in the corner. An entirely unashamed Adrian stands with a silver chalice in his hand, and a presumably maniacally grinning Demea stands with her shiny new shield. That's where you find yourselves. So far, just as a recap, you entered into a dungeon, you came downstairs into a room with 4 pillars. You then proceeded to take the western exit from that room. You have then followed the path of the dungeon around south and then back east, and it has led you to this point. You can obviously go back into the corridor and go back the way that you came, but the corridor also leads further east from where you are now. So it is up to you what you guys would like to do.
So there is unexplored territory we haven't checked out yet.
Surprisingly?
I know, we've been so thorough. So slowly and utterly thorough. Oh, thank you for the reminder about that. I haven't turned those on in a long time.
You're welcome.
Can we...
Just a reminder.
Can we please?
Hi, babies.
Please. Go ahead and start, guys. I'm gonna get this turned on.
Yeah. Well, I think it's safe to say that Grumbly's ancestors probably wasn't poisoned. Because I feel fine. Totally fine.
Because I'm sure poisons never evaporate into the air or anything like that.
Just tasted very dusty. I mean, when's the last time someone cleaned in here?
I don't think it's been opened in a while.
Oh.
Why would they clean in here?
They should fire their housekeeper then. Hasn't been here in how long? Oh.
Yeah, a long while.
But I mean, it does seem like, I don't know. It's tough to say if he was sealed in here to stay, or if he was, sealed in himself to keep people out. From the letter that we read, it sounds like to keep people out.
Like house cleaners.
Yeah.
Is that what
we're here now?
Yep. Well, this is fascinating. This whole house cleaning conversation. I am riveted. But in reality, I'm actually quite bored.
Oh, shit, that's who the bitch was earlier. Sorry.
I'm sorry, what was that? Excuse me, did you say something underneath your breath?
I think it's probably from the dust that I licked off the chalice.
Why did you do that, by the way? That seems really...
Because you can never be too certain. And we needed to know how his ancestor died, to see if there was any kind of a threat. Maybe his ancestor was killed and we need to, vanquish enemies and smite those that wronged his family down. And
I think that we're on the mission to help Demea first. Maybe let's stop licking chalices.
I think it's all connected.
I mean, okay.
And we're gonna get it down to the bottom of this.
Yeah, we'll lick every cup that we come across until we solve the puzzle of what's in the cup.
Yeah.
I mean, that's utterly fair.
That makes sense.
But in the meantime, is there anything going on with this shrine, Aldous, where I am...
You inspected it last time. You got inspiration from having, had a little moment.
Okay.
Yes.
And didn't
We've got a door. We've got a big door outside, haven't we? That we need to explore. So I think Grumbly's gonna put his hand on his ancestor and kind of say his farewell and kind of walk out back into the corridor at the door that was outside.
We'll walk over to Grumbly's ancestor, put his hand on. Sleep now.
He's dead, and you defiled him earlier. I'm just, you know what? Let's go ahead and I don't know why I bother.
I licked the chalice, not the dead guy. Okay.
You know what? Yeah. Yep. You could just see her visibly just kind of going like a little. She's like, yep. Okay. And she'll just like stroll out of the room behind Mucky or Grumbly. Sorry. We should have just named your character Mucky, honestly.
I sometimes think that as well.
Are you guys staying in the room?
No, I'm gonna go to the other door.
Oh, okay.
I'm too fascinated with Elidus's face. Shh.
I mean,
Okay.
he criticizes me and says that I stalk him when I get all wrapped up in his face, but whatever.
I'm gonna check around the door because if it was sealed from the inside, then there may be some kind of traps to keep other people from coming in from the other door. So I want to check it for traps to see if there's anything we can't trigger on our way out.
Okay. That's fine.
When Truly
So you're going
catches-
back out into the corridor and checking out the big set of doors.
Yeah, the doors.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the big doors
Okay.
probably lead deeper into this place where we find out more things.
And we like deep.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well-
that's a 20, a dirty 20.
Okay, so your investigation is thorough, and does not involve sitting on top of the door, unless you want it to.
No, not this time. No.
So you successfully establish that there are no traps on this door. You are also a sufficiently intelligent sort of chap to know how a hinge works. And therefore you're able to tell that actually these doors open away from you. They would open outwards. And as near as you can tell, there's no lock.
Oh.
But they won't open.
Truly, when she's gonna walk up next to Grumbly and just kind of quietly, in like hushed tones, be like, what was that like for you? Meeting one of your ancestors, knowing you have so much in common. He loved bacon too.
That was pretty cool. Don't tell anybody though.
I mean, I can only imagine. I've never like met my birth parents. I don't remember much about them, but wow, to have that history must be really fantastic.
Hey guys, this door isn't locked, but it won't open.
You're being really rude,
Why?
Adrian. We're having hushed tone conversation over here.
Wait, you guys are whispering to each other,
Yeah,
separately from the group. And
Yeah, that was really rude of you to interrupt.
Hmm.
Yeah, we were having a moment. I felt really close to him just now.
Well, as of right now, we're trapped in this room, so
Demaya's gonna
sorry.
go over.
I'm assuming you're at the big set of doors outside in the corridor. Not
Yeah,
the door.
whispering.
Oh, I thought we were checking the other door. Okay. And
There isn't another door.
no, there isn't another door. I thought there
No,
were two.
you came through a set of doors, through a small like antechamber, through another set of doors into this room. This room is all there is. So
Oh.
when you said you were checking the other doors, I assumed you were checking the other set of doors in the corridor.
The big doors.
There's
Okay.
a big old set of doors that are
So we
opposite.
need to go out back into the corridor, and then
Yes.
That's where we are.
Mhm.
Now we've got to figure out how to pull these doors open.
Demaya's gonna walk up to them and really, really, really hope that maybe if she tries talking to her patron, that maybe something might happen. Since she's seen a lot of symbolism from her goddess, but she's feeling very insecure about trying to talk to her goddess since she's been
Okay.
ignoring her for so long.
All right, that's fine. Make a let's make a religion check.
Oh god.
It always goes well.
It's like if it comes to violence and murder, then she rolls the highest of high. I don't know, like it just seems so strange. And then religion or any sort of like personal interaction is just like, oh, boring. I'm gonna roll 2s and 3s.
I got a 12.
You got a 12.
I
Do you
got a
have any
12
He looks
with
really-
modifiers or without?
with modifiers.
With
Oh,
modifiers.
oh,
Ah,
no.
fine. You right. So there's something about the aura of this place, that has been kind of away at the back of your mind since you got here. You kind of look at these doors. And you sort of try and sense for like a way to open them, that sort of thing, and you get the sort of the briefest sensation of like a sort of forest breeze or something, despite the fact that you're clearly underground in the middle of a stone corridor. But if anything, it doesn't actually do anything towards these doors. If anything, it sort of makes you sort of turn your head briefly and look eastwards down the corridor, sort of carrying on the way that you would have been going had you not found the secret door.
I'm not entirely sure what to do with that information, and neither is Demea. I think Demea is just gonna, just quietly lower her hand and be like, well, I sense forest that way. Wait, that's not east. Wherever east is.
To be fair, actually, you were pointing in the right direction for your character, because as she's facing the big set of double doors, east would have been to her left. So
Yes.
I didn't hear a word that Aqua or Demea just said, because I was looking for the tier 1 redeem that was, supposedly done, but then it wasn't. So something about east.
basically,
Okay.
big set of doors that you're investigating. Adrian can't find a way to open them. Demea tried, and then mysterious force kind of pushed her a little bit east down the corridor, away from these doors.
Away from these doors. Okay.
So let's follow.
Okay, you know what?
Demea's
I feel like that
her
we've all
instinct.
kind of had a little bit of, like, I've had a pull towards the temple. Grumbly had a pull towards his ancestor and the doors that had all that fun stuff for you guys in there. That Adrian
I had a pull a few weeks ago
asking.
from the Naiad.
I feel she's just gonna stop talking and then just stare at you. Let's go ahead and deal with the force that is leading.
Yes, I agree.
That is leading Demea, and she's just gonna keep staring at you, but start glaring. And yeah, what's the matter with you?
Okay, so we'll go east down the corridor then.
Okay, so you guys proceed down the corridor to the east. One of you was carrying a torch, as far as I remember, but I don't remember who it was. But I remember somebody was.
I was.
Okay, I was gonna say someone is.
Who's in the lead? Just remind me of that.
Oh god. I guess Demea will go in the lead since she's feeling the foresty stuff.
Yeah. I'll follow right behind her so she has light lighting her path.
Okay. That's fine. It doesn't take long before kind of having gone sort of about 30 feet or so down this corridor to the east. You can see it carries on a little bit before you come across sort of a part of the middle of the corridor has fallen away, and it looks rather like a pit trap at this point. So just as you're coming up to it, it's in the center of the corridor, so there are sort of edges on the outside where you could kind of shuffle along, but yeah, it looks rather like there's a pit trap here that has been triggered at some point.
Yep, we're going back the way we came. Okay.
No, this was not triggered by you.
Different one.
You're going in a direction you have not yet explored. Yes, there was a pit trap the way you came, but there's also a pit trap this way.
Okay.
All the pit traps.
How big is this one? Because are we like at a thing where it's just like, oh, a pit trap, but it's like a foot wide and we're
I can just leap over it with single.
It's probably a good sort of 10 foot across and about 8 foot wide, but that leaves like about a foot at either side of the corridor where you could get past it.
Shimmy. Okay, so we could either shimmy on the sides, or a few of them are able to jump across.
Yes, absolutely. Dramatic leaps are most available. Yes, absolutely. Except for the people in the party who can only jump 9 feet.
That would be me. I choose to shimmy.
No names.
Across the wall.
A bold choice. Yeah, absolutely fine. As you are shimmying, are you shimmying with your back to the pit, or are you shimmying with your back to the wall?
Hearts up. Hearts up. Thank you. I want my butt to the wall.
That's fine. So as you are shimmying along, you are therefore able to see down into the pit, and you can see at the bottom of the pit, about sort of 20 feet below or so, a number of rather nasty looking spikes, and on them a number of skeletons. Make a perception check for me.
You got it, buddy.
Here comes the ones.
Okay, and this is Penny speaking. Penny regrets not saying, I'm gonna tie the rope to me first and then have one of you hold it while I shimmy across. So I might die. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
You said perception?
Remember when
I did say perception.
What about persuasion?
What are you persuading?
You convince the pit to not be a pit anymore. Well done.
I'll take it. Let's just move on from the. No, okay. It was a 6 total.
The skeletons are icky and made of bones.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds correct. This is everything. Yep. There's skeletons down there.
Shocking.
What kind of skeletons?
The dead kind, without flesh. They are lifeless.
That's a rare thing.
Bones in the shape of humanoids-ish. The faces they had once upon a time. Anyways, I'm gonna keep shimmying.
Okay.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing? Is this a group shimmy activity, or are we making
shimming,
leaps?
I'm just gonna jump across.
Just gonna make a dramatic leap. That's fine.
Yep.
Yeah. So's Grumbly. Just gonna follow Adrian.
You both also briefly glimpse some icky skeletons.
Yep. I'm gonna jump across and turn to the man and just double fingers.
Can we just can we not just do like jump over and go like that?
No.
And do the bird. It's just shimming along.
Oh, so
what to truly?
To truly.
To
truly.
I mean, you can. It would probably take an athletics check to make sure you didn't land on your ass, but you know.
Oh my god! Please do it.
We know I'm landing on my ass, don't we?
Do it. But I also, while Truly is seeing this happen, by the way, so they're doing their little like jump across while they're flipping me off, and as I'm doing this, I'm gonna just do the along the wall with my 2 hands. So
Okay.
So am I doing now? Athletics check.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's see if you stick the landing.
Did you throw the dwarf, or is he jumping? I don't.
No.
He's not tossing me this session.
Toss a dwarf to your.
That is a 17.
Yep, Adrian successfully manages it.
Dang
16.
It.
Yeah, you both do.
While Demea is kind of ignoring the shenanigans going on, she's gonna go up to the edge of the pit and carefully look down to see if there's something to be gleaned from these skeletons.
Make a perception check for me, please, Demea.
Ooh. 18 plus 3. 21?
Okay. There are... It's difficult to count because they're all sort of jumbled up. But after a bit of careful looking, you surmise that there are at least 5 skeletons down there.
Ooh.
And whilst most of your experience has been fighting monsters that still have their skin on,
It's okay, Tori.
you'd guess from sort of, prominent brow ridges and slightly tusky looking teeth that these are probably orcs.
Interesting. It's okay, Tori.
Do you want
Sorry,
to share that with the rest of the group, or are you keeping that to yourself? That's the penny asking.
The man's gonna then, walk back to jump across the pit, and then we'll share the information.
Okay, that's fine. You have all successfully navigated the pit and established that there are some orc skeletons at the bottom of it.
Okay, so you guys, so we've seen some really confusing things. It kind of seemed like the dwarves and the orcs were living in harmony. It almost felt like when in other there's like aspects of both in there, but then now it's kind of looking like, I don't know, maybe they weren't. Yeah, maybe they weren't. Or maybe
Or they forgot the pit was there?
Oh gosh, like maybe they had to leave in a hurry and they're like, oh no.
The pit.
Yeah.
Where?
Okay. So, as you're standing around talking, those of you looking at your surroundings note that having leapt across this pit now at the edge of the torchlight, you notice a couple of things. The first is that on the right-hand side of the corridor, there is a door which stands open. It looks rather like it's sort of hanging off on its hinges partly. And the other is that probably about 20 feet beyond that, the corridor turns round a corner and goes, takes a left turn, heads back north.
I'm going to kind of peek my head in with the torch into the room on the right-hand side with the door that's kind of off the hinge a little.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite difficult to tell what this room was. It extends about 40 feet in front of you and is probably about 30 feet wide. There is a lot of kind of the remnants of furniture, but it has all been smashed up and broken. Little sort of broken chairs and bits of framework of various kinds of furniture, that kind of thing is sort of scattered all about. And crude graffiti has been kind of daubed on all of the walls.
Is the graffiti in English, or is it in some other, like maybe a Dwarven or common language?
It's not in common.
Okay.
It's right. You can read it, Adrian. As for whatever reason, Adrian speaks Orc. So you can read it, and basically there are large crude drawings of various sort of grinning orc faces. There are various comments about dwarves' mothers and how orcs are much better than everyone else, and that sort of thing.
Okay. But there's nothing specific, like as far as like mentioning any kind of like a family lineage or anything specifically. It's just a general kind of insults.
Orcs writing graffiti don't seem to be much for plot exposition.
All right.
Really?
Yeah. Dwarves suck. By the way, this is exactly why we came here and what we were doing and who we were. Sadly.
How dare. Okay, so yeah, the room looks like it was tossed. Everything in here is, for the most part that I could tell just from glancing in, it's been destroyed.
That sounds like orcs.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't go completely I mean, the door is still here. It's just kind of off the handle. I mean, I would think if there was other stuff that maybe they would have moved the door, or completely removed it in general. So I'm going to ignore the room. I'm going to continue down the corridor towards where it takes that left.
Okay, that's fine. You move around the corner. You're all sort of still moving in more or less the same kind of formation. The corridor takes a left-hand turn and heads up north. As you're heading along, it's not long before you notice that up ahead, the sort of corridor walls kind of seem to kind of move away. So essentially, as you come up part of the corridor, it sort of widens out suddenly, and you're sort of the corridor continues in front of you, but on either side of you, there's about like a 20-foot wide sort of gallery that moves out sort of about 30 feet in either direction. So on your left and your right, there are a couple of different things. There are the remnants of what look like little sort of pedestal workstations that might once have been made out of, that were carved out of stone. They look a little bit like they might once have been, kind of about sort of 3-4 foot high, with like a sort of slanted flat top to them, so quite what they were used for working on is anyone's guess. But interspersed between these stations, there are the remains of a number of statues. They look to have been a mix of different forms, different races. Most of them appear to have been smashed and broken.
Okay. And that's all on the left-hand side, right?
That's on both sides of you.
Oh, that's on both sides. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Such destruction.
There's no care to it, anything. It's just like they were completely tossing the place and ransacking it.
Which is really surprising for orcs, honestly. Their behavior is usually a little bit more, tidy and thoughtful.
They're a lot more finesse, I know. Yeah.
So
like burglars,
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
They make terrible, terrible housekeepers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to have made it dirtier instead of cleaner.
Wow, that's racist.
What?
What?
That is
Adrian,
a stereotype.
Adrian, can I test my new shield out on your head?
No.
First
Don't dirty that shield.
I'm not being racist. I'm making a comment.
Adrian speaks Orc because he values and respects their culture.
I'm going to investigate one of the workstations to kind of figure out what kind of workstation this was. Maybe there's something that's left behind that kind of gives me an idea of what they were doing in these stations here.
Okay. Make a perception check for me, please.
All right. $11.
Okay. Adrian is not sure. This is not his area of expertise. He's
really
not a religious man. He's not a holy man. He's not spent a lot of time in the inner workings of temples.
Cough, Demea, cough.
I said nothing. I hinted at nothing.
We're following it. We're following her feelings. So
everything's quite foreign to me. I mean,
Demea's feeling a little self-conscious about the religious side of things.
That was really satisfying sound, by the way.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Can Truly investigate?
Of course you can. Anyone is free to make a perception check.
Well, yeah, and so she actually... Hold on. Yeah, let's do perception. I was gonna say, well, because she did a lot of reading. That was like, she spent a lot of time just reading to entertain herself and just like trying to learn things, because she was always... But it really wasn't a lot on this particular subject. with 8. So...
With 8? These are some fancy stone tables, but they're so slanty. You know, surely things would slide right off them.
All right. Can she pretend they're a slide and see if, like, are they slanty enough that she could slide down it just for funsies?
I see absolutely no reason why she can't do that.
Okay, she's doing that.
Okay, fine. Roll a d20. Let's just see, because if you roll a natural 1, you're falling off it and landing on you.
I did not roll a nat 1. I did not.
Okay, that's fine.
That's a 2 then.
No wild magic surge for falling off a small pedestal then, which would have been like, vaguely shameful.
Yeah.
But
Nope, she just looks like a fool just for doing it at all, which is fine.
Okay.
Demea's gonna reluctantly try to figure out what this room is for.
Okay. Perception checks. Go ahead.
Oh, come on, seriously? 9.
9. Okay,
9.
that's fine.
It is one better than me.
Yeah. You can't quite make head nor tail of the statue. You're obviously never any great appreciator of either stone or artwork. But there's enough left of one of the pedestal things that you recognize it as being something that is pretty common in temples. This is a Scribes Lectern. So those books that Truly likes reading so much, there's a good chance some of them might have been written on something like this.
They're Scribe Lecterns.
Also,
that's all I know.
Decent slide. Not great though. It's a little short.
Yeah. I mean, they hold books.
Yeah, and you could also lean against them. I'm helping.
But there's no any documents or anything left behind that you see there, Demea?
Let's maybe look in the room some more. Let's look around and push some stuff aside and see what we can figure out. I mean, this is not the only thing in the room.
All right, Adrian's gonna go to each statue and just see if he could push them, maybe to open up some other door.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and roll investigation checks for me, everybody, if you're having a look around.
Are you sure not persuasion? Just okay.
I mean, you can try and talk the remains of a crumbling statue into divulging its secrets, but the DC will be pretty high.
Oh, but it doesn't matter. I rolled an 18.
15 for me. I just want to see that happen, though.
14. I got a 9 again.
14.
Okay, you guys do a fair bit of looking around this room. Anything that is not made of stone has apparently long since rotted away. Anything that is left is like, small splinters of wood or whatever. You can't really divine any of its purpose. As you do look around, you do establish that as far as the remains of the statues are concerned, there are the remains of some which look like they were probably dwarves. There are also the remains of one or two that look like they may very well have been something more like an elf or a human, just in terms of like the proportions and the sizes of various bits of arm and bits of leg that you find.
Would, from looking at it with my 18, would Truly be able to tell if these matched those pillars that kind of represented the different religions in the higher up rooms? Or are they completely different?
No, there's. It's not that they necessarily match them, because the designs on those are much more kind of stylistic and arty. But you do recognise, here and there on a bit of robe with like sort of foresty patterns on it, and a bit of stone which seems to have sort of images of mountains or gems carved in it, just here or there. So it looks like a lot of the sort of art motifs in terms of like the clothing and the symbols that these statues might have once displayed seems to be similar. These just appear to be statues of individual people, as opposed to the pillars which had like scenes on them.
So she's going to kind of. This seems like there's a theme here. This is obviously the homes of dwarves. Okay, and then the orcs were dickheads and broke this place up, right? But it just feels like there's a theme here about. And then she's gonna pull out the thing that has all the symbols on it with the that she got from in the lake from the Naiad. And she's like, there's some sort of, there's something going on here. Did you guys not, guys? And she's gonna start pointing to the different individual pieces and start kind of making the connection from the top stuff to the one that might represent that top pillar to the elf, and then to the top pillar that might represent the dwarf in there. And she's just gonna try and like kind of ramble her way through. Just like, are you seeing some sort of pattern here? And she's gonna keep pointing to the thing in her hand, like there's something here, and I just don't know what, and I don't know why. And it ties into the wolf clan that's killed her mentor. I'm starting to get real frustrated, and I don't like it here anymore. I haven't seen the sun in a couple days. It feels like, has it been days? She's gonna
hours.
Demaya's gonna slowly walk up to Truly and like put her hands on her shoulder, like, take a deep breath.
How long have we been down here?
Should we slap her out of it?
I'll cut you.
Not helpful.
All of us line up and just one time.
She's gonna hold the thing, and she's just like, I hate it here. I hate it here. I grew up with dwarves, but we were in a caravan and we traveled and we were always outdoors and we always were doing things, and I'm just kind of starting to get a little bit frustrated, and I would like she's gonna start, you're seeing her get more and more worked up as she's saying this stuff, and it's like, and then the statues are matching, and
okay, Truly, deep breath in and exhale.
Grumbly's just going to kind of walk up and put himself underneath Truly's side, kind of just grab it into a hip.
God, thank you for saying side.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how about this, Truly? Instead of focusing on the statues, we keep going further in, and the answer might be there as well as an exit.
Exit. Yes. Okay.
And bacon.
I doubt it, Grumbly.
I don't know. I mean, based on what we read down there, his lineage was a very big fan of bacon. So there might be bacon. I don't know how good the bacon's going to be.
Petrified bacon. If there's any bacon at all, it will be petrified bacon.
Maybe it's bacon jerky?
Maybe it's jerky.
So maybe the orcs were here for the bacon.
Maybe. It is a healing tool of your people, so. Yeah, I will continue on the corridor then.
Okay, that's fine. You move down the corridor. It does not take long before the corridor widens out, into a much larger chamber. The chamber appears to be round. It is about 60 feet across, and is basically a perfect circle. On either side, flickering very dimly in the torchlight, you make out the sconces with ancient-looking torches in at various intervals around the wall. To the left and the right, there appear to be exits out of the chamber, evenly spaced at sort of 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock position. As you look at it, you've kind of entered at sort of 6 o'clock position. The floor in this chamber is essentially a 5 foot wide strip of very finely carved flagstones which go around the edge of this chamber. In front of you, at the dead center of the chamber, a plinth sits in the center of a pool of strangely clear water. Unlike everything else in this place, which has been a bit dusty and marked by the passage of years, this water looks like it might have been cleaned and poured in there yesterday. The plinth in the center of it rises to a height of about 6 or 7 feet, and on top of that plinth, a statue of a male with what might once have been fine elven features stands. It's missing a hand. Various other small chunks of it appear to have been pinged off and chipped away. The features are marred, and judging by the number of crude-looking arrows that appear to have scattered about the bottom of the plinth of this statue, it looks rather like it might once have been used for orcish target practice.
Damn orcs again. Ruin everything. Can Grumbly reach these torches to light them? Or does he need somebody taller?
No. He can reach them. Everything appears to have been built here with a reasonable nod to dwarven scale. So he's able to reach them, and despite the fact that they appear to be very, very old indeed, with holding the torch there long enough, you are able to make them catch. And the thing that you notice is that the chamber here appears to have been carved of a lighter stone than the rest of the dungeon. The previous corridors in the dungeon have all been a sort of fairly uniform grey sort of castle-esque stone. The ones in here appear to be a much sort of lighter, almost sort of limestone-ish colour. And as you light progressively more and more of the torches, the effect is of a glowing room with a finely crafted, albeit damaged, statue at the center of a pool of water that reflects the light of the torches and the glow from the stone.
Are we able to tell how deep the pool of water is?
It appears to be no more than 6 to 8 inches deep.
Okay.
Would Demea potentially recognize who this elf should be?
There's no hint of, familiarity as far as you can tell. This is not anyone you've ever seen before.
Would truly?
It's not anybody who is familiar to any of you.
Okay.
Demea's gonna go up to the clean water and touch it.
Okay, that's fine.
Are you going to just...
What could possibly go wrong?
You just kneel down next to it and, poke at, put her fingertips right on it,
Mm-hmm. Just finger it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Demare, as you touch the water, a sense of invigoration kind of sweeps over you. It's like you feel refreshed. It's like you sort of sat down and you know, had an hour's rest and a good meal, and you know, a sort of feeling that everything is more or less okay with everything else. You also feel that forest breeze again a little bit, except it feels a little stronger this time. Sort of ruffles through your hair, and Humphrey makes an approving little squeak as it does so. And you can mark off that you have inspiration.
Yay!
Are you getting anything from the pool there? Any more pointers to finding out the mystery of this dungeon?
Demay kind of closed her eyes as she felt the breeze, and she just kind of shakes her head, just like, no, I don't have any more clues, but this water feels amazing, guys.
Adrian's going to take the silver chalice out of his backpack. He's going to fill a little bit of the water in the chalice to drink it.
Okay. You drink it. It is refreshing. It appears to be regular water, as far as you can tell. Nothing particularly dramatic happens as you drink it. You don't feel particularly invigorated or anything like that. But as you lift the chalice away from your mouth, a couple of drops spill out from it, and fall onto the holy symbol of the gauntleted hand that you wear around your neck, and there is a brief kind of glow as they do so, and suddenly you feel sort of a sense of approval, a sense of familiarity. You're not quite sure where from, and you can mark off that you have regained 4 hit points.
Sorry, I was parched after licking that chalice. It was so dusty. I had to.
Mm-hmm. Is it good water?
It's refreshing, very nice. It's surprisingly cold, you know. Right?
Grumbly's gonna wander over and cup his hands and just take a quick sip of the water while he marvels at the stonework.
Grumbly, you get a similar sense, a sort of feeling of familiarity somehow, kind of nagging away at the back of your minds. The water touches your lips. You can't help but feeling a sense of that it's not bacon, but it'll do. And you can regain 5 hit points.
Well, this is good water.
Hey, Demea. When you touch the water, how deep does it look to you?
Oh, it's like 6 or 8 inches. It's not deep.
Cool,
I could touch the bottom if I wanted to.
Could we like lay in it?
I mean, I don't think you float in it, but it'd be like lying in a puddle.
Truly's gonna go sit in the water with her thing, with her little tablet, and just be like, "You guys, I want to go swimming." And this is the closest we're gonna get, because every time we find deeper water,
when we get out.
No, because every time we go, you got like, you had water sex with your ex-girlfriend, and then there was a weird water snake that tried to eat Grumble. I don't want
We
deep
never put
water.
a label on anything. Okay.
Right. So, Truly, what are you doing? Are you sitting and like, contemplating, or are you sitting and, or are you just complaining?
Well, she says that, and then she just kind of sits there and is holding. She's kind of been holding this
Okay.
thing for comfort. She's holding
That's
this
fine.
thing for comfort and just kind of looking at it and just still trying to figure out the connection between it all.
That's fine. You don't feel anything in particular as you sit in this water, other than the fact that you're now slightly soggier than you were before.
Well, she likes it.
But you do notice as you sort of huff about in a frustrated fashion, sitting in this pool, that where the water gets onto the stone in your hand, the carved lines in it of the various symbols appear to just sort of glitter or glisten ever so slightly as the water touches them.
She's gonna kind of stare at it, mesmerized for a couple seconds, and then she's gonna kind of like, guys, look, and she's just gonna she's like afraid to move in case it goes away. She's like, look. It's like shimmering. It's like, what's?
Can Grumbly take his water wolf symbol and pop that into the water, see if that has any effect on it?
You can, yeah, absolutely. You put that into the water. Nothing happens.
Just kind of look at it and go back in the backpack and sort of wander off around the edge of the room, looking at the other exits. While the others paddle around in the paddling pool.
I'm going to actually fill up a little bit more water in the chalice and bring it over to the statue and kind of pour it on the statue and see if that does anything. I mean, with it being in the room with this water, maybe it triggers something.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, essentially, you rinse away a little bit of the dirt, a little bit of the that may have sort of been, where some of the arrows have made little chips or cracks in the statue, that kind of thing. But nothing appears to kind of change about the statue at all.
It was a long shot, but no.
There's something about this water.
Maybe
it's the water, maybe it's the statue that's triggering it. I'm not gonna defile the statue any more than I already am. And she's gonna take out her flask and chug the contents. I think that she bought some whiskey from the.
She did.
And she's going to chug the entire thing.
Okay.
And then she's going to fill it up with this water, and then she's gonna keep it just in case there's something that can go with this water and this this talisman that she has later on. She's like, nope. There is something about this water. We have the water now. It should be fine. Everything is fine.
Okay. Make a con save for me, please.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Con save. Yeah, that's fine. Oh no, we're good. Yeah, okay. That's 15.
Okay. That's fine.
Am I just drunk but totally healthy? Okay.
You're just drunk. You haven't done yourself any massive problems or anything. So you're holding your liquor reasonably well.
Mm-hmm. You guys, I think that this is a big step in the right direction, and I feel a little bit better about all of the things that we're doing and we're going to face and the battle of this mystery. And she's gonna get you're gonna start hearing her make less and less sense.
Is she losing it? Do we need to shake her again? Or just a few
I
minutes
never
ago she was
shook her.
freaking out. Now she's drunk. Well, maybe we should have.
I will still cut you if you shake me, but I probably won't catch you. I'll throw up on you. But guys, and then she just kind of gets up, and you just see the water just kind of get all over the place as she just abruptly stands up from being in this little pool of water, and she's like, okay, you guys, I have the water, and she's shaking the flask, and I have the thing that makes it glow. We're gonna be okay. And she's putting them back in her pack, and she's like, I feel like we should just go outside where the sun is. And we're gonna face the sun together. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So there are so as Truly is making her little speech there, basically there are 2 exits from this room. One to the west and one to the east.
Which one solves the puzzle?
Well, Grumbly did check one. Which one did he go to check on?
Did Grumbly check one?
I just had a walk around the outside and had a look at both things.
Okay. Grumbly, in which case, Grumbly already knows that so Grumbly, after you've had your little walk around the outside, you notice that through the western door, the corridor reverts back to the stone that you've been kind of encountering all of this time. Through the eastern door, which is not a door actually, it's an archway, you can see a short corridor. It is about 40 feet long. It sort of appears to glow with the same friendly, familiar, comfortable light that the rest of the room glows with. The only thing that mars this slightly friendly picture is the relatively solid-looking door at the end of the corridor, and the 6 or so Orcish skeletons which appear to be slumped at various places in the corridor itself.
Okay. Would I be able to look at these and think, was this a trap that's killed these orcs, or is that just sort of...
It's difficult to discern how they died, but there don't appear to be any obvious... there's no pit traps here, there's no obvious great big spikes, there's nothing, like holes in the wall or arrows or anything along those lines.
Any holes in the bodies from... You can see from a distance?
Well, I mean, by definition, skeletons tend to have quite a number of holes.
Well, I meant like maybe it's punctured through the bone or anything.
Not that you can tell from the end of the corridor.
Okay.
Grumbly's gonna take a slow walk down this corridor, kind of looking at each of the things just with a suspicious eye.
You're gonna hear a very loud Truly going, Grumbly, is it lead to the light? Do we have the sun? And that is there sun? Are you seeing light?
There's a pool of water right there. We could just kind of hold her face under.
I feel that was aggressive.
Okay,
Adrian.
Sir, aren't you supposed to be on some sort of quest to better yourself or something? And you were calling about killing her. Why? Because she's drunk?
He always chooses violence. He always chooses violence and sex with water ladies. This is all he ever does, is just choose violence and sex with water ladies. It's so, and he's not a spider.
I know. Okay, yeah, I definitely not a spider. The spider stuff is freaking ridiculous,
right? Stop
but truly, I think
sex with spiders.
That's ridiculous.
How about? But truly, we haven't solved the puzzle of this place yet, so perhaps we should keep going and try to find it.
Well, maybe we have solved the greater puzzle, that this was a place that all different races and kind came together, and to battle whatever this wolf creature. Maybe there's something that it happens every so many years.
Wait, what if, hold on, I think I've solved everything. This was a place of dwarves that welcomed all religion and all people, and then orcs came to ruin everything. And then that's when they became the wolf people.
See what she's doing.
Yeah, it's annoying when it happens to you, isn't it, Adrian?
Mm-hmm. I figured it all out.
Let her keep going.
I figured it all out.
Grumbly's trying to ignore these drunken ramblings as he's making his way down the corridor.
He's making his way down the corridor. Grumbly, you as you make your way down the corridor, the first thing that you would notice about a couple of these Orcish skeletons is they look rather like they weren't entirely together when they died. Whatever hit them was obviously something, like a large force, that kind of thing. You as you make your way down the corridor, though, the orc skeletons sort of gradually thin out. There are more towards the far end of the corridor, and fewer and fewer as you get up towards the door. The door is made out of wood. It does not appear to in any way be perished with age. It is quite magnificently carved in a dark wood. There are bands of golden metal across the door, around the top, which is sort of arched down both sides, across the bottom, up the middle in the junction between two doors, where they meet in the middle, and there is a gap in the metal, which appears to be of a geometric shape, and probably about sort of 4 inches deep or so.
And then maybe a little less loud because you're getting further away. You hear, "Grumbly, I figured it all out. It's the orcs. They're the wolves. The orcs, Grumbly. They're the orcs. They're the problem. And we need to get to sunlight. Orcs, do you see sunlight? I figured it out. We can go now." She's yelling this from the back end. She's not with you, so you're just hearing her yelling belligerently.
I could just see that, down this corridor like that. What?
Guys, do you think he heard me?
Would this look like? Would I recognise what would need to go into this? This like a key or maybe something that we've got. Perhaps.
It looks distinctly octagonal, and about the same size as a bit of octagonal stone that a certain drunk person has been waving about quite a lot. Yeah.
I was gonna wonder if it was that same shape. The mayor's gonna turn around and be like, Truly, can you bring that stone? We think it fits into a puzzle piece.
What? I thought Demea was right next to me. When did she leave? She sounds so far away.
Follow the sound of my voice, Truly.
Oh my God.
Adrian's gonna walk up behind her and just kind of like grab her shoulders and kind of start guiding her towards the voices. This way. This way.
So Grumbly and Demea stood by the doors. Adrian and Truly are leading are both now going down the corridor. Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
These guys right here, Adrian. These are the wolves. These are the wolves, Adrian. These dead skeletons. Yeah. These are the wolves.
Yeah. Okay. Here. As Adrian and Truly step into the corridor,
oh no!
A series of symbols that you don't recognize. There's some sort of arcane writing. Lights up briefly, glows at various points along the sides of the corridors. Those who are quick to notice them would notice that they glow at more or less the same intervals as where the skeletons of the orcs are scattered. But Adrian, you feel a make a religion check for me, please.
Did
See
you
how
say
much.
arcane
Adrian.
signals?
Yes, I did.
Would truly know what they are? Like...
Oh, no bonus on that. Okay.
She make an Arcana check.
Am I making an Arcana or religion?
No, you're making religion, Adrian.
Okay, religion. Then I got a 15.
Okay, Adrian, you feel a familiar sensation, centered sort of around your breast where the holy symbol is, essentially, sort of. So as you sort of step in, something appears to briefly object to your presence, and then the presence of the holy symbol seems to override that feeling, and the glow from the glyphs on the walls dissipates.
But I actually
Truly, what did you get?
feel like the medallion doing. Okay.
You sort of feel, well, more just a sense linked to that, but yeah.
Okay.
I got
Julie,
14.
what did you get? You got a 14. You're not exactly sure what these are. You couldn't read them or anything like that, but you're pretty sure you've seen these in books you've read about magic. Similar to things where people can essentially implant magical glyphs, which are essentially wards or traps against various things. And can be activated under certain conditions, and they generally do nasty things to people.
Oh, these are such pretty evils on the wall. You don't know, Adrian.
Well,
You
why don't
haven't.
tell me
You
tell me
don't
about
know. But like these are like they're such pretty traps. They're pretty traps, and then you paste them, and they're pretty traps.
Did you say traps?
Where's she?
Did somebody say what?
Well, oh my god!
I think Truly said traps.
Did you hear Demea?
They triggered a trap.
Right, where's she come from? She's like here one moment, and then we're with the dead wolves.
At the very end of the corridor, that's where they are. But something.
Hi, Truly.
Something else is going on.
Oh.
I'm going to take my medallion and kind of hold it out closer to the wall. See if that does anything.
The wall does nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a very pretty wall. So with the wall traps, but they glow.
Yeah. What kind of? I mean, to go into a little bit more detail about these traps. There, true. What? I mean, does it shoot things at us? Does it open things up? Does it?
I mean, it depends, because I don't know what specific trap it is, but obviously it's a good trap because it killed the wolf orcs. And the thing is, though, they triggered it. The thing happened. I don't know what the trigger is, though, because it has its, like, everything is always different,
Mm-hmm.
Different and how sometimes things happen. And she just kind of, like, she, like, cuts off and just kind of, like, looks around. It's like...
Increase the speed a little bit of moving her down this corridor to Grumbly and Demea.
Okay.
Meanwhile, at the other end of the corridor, Grumbly heard the word trap, and he's like, "Go back, go back."
Toss the stone and go back.
you reach the end of the corridor without incident, and now you're all stood by the door.
Why do you keep telling me? Like, you told me to come here.
Why did you come?
You told me to come here. With your like ghostly voice. You told me with a ghost voice.
You're talking about traps and glowy things and dead things.
It is not my fault if nobody else.
Where are the wolves you keep going on about?
Listen.
Okay. Truly, can I see the stone you've been holding?
You see her kind of go like, what?
No, give me the stone, please.
Why?
Because it will solve the puzzle, and then we'll be able to go outside sooner.
But I paused the puzzle with the wolves and the orcs.
Yes, but now we have a door puzzle to solve. So can I have it, please?
Or Adrian's going to attempt to steal the stone.
Oh no!
Oh, hold on, wait, no. This is so you're talking about like we're gonna take out the orcs, the orc wolves with my puzzle. My puzzle piece. My puzzles.
But you have to put the puzzle piece in the door. You see this hole? You have to put it there to solve the puzzle.
What is it? Okay. And she's gonna reach in and she's gonna like. But can I have it back? Can you tell the wall? I want it back. What?
Oh, we'll totally get it back to you. Yeah.
Okay. I want it back. I brought the water and I drank a lot of alcohol really fast so that I could have these things together because it's important.
Adrian's just gonna stand behind Truly and just like one hand like on her back just keeps kind of pushing her closer to the door. Just
it's already in there. Why are you trying to rub my back? We're just acquaintances on a mission of epicness together. There's nothing more than that. I don't know why you're trying to get all friendly and touching me on my back so much.
Adrian looks down at his sword, looks at her, looks down at his sword, looks at her, looks down at his sword, looks at her.
Now's no time to be thinking about your sword, Adrian.
Okay. So,
what do you want to do with that sword? Where you want to dip that sword?
So what have we done with the stone?
Or she rammed it into the wall.
That's fine. So as Adrian is looking down at his sword and starting to twitch a little bit, there is a sort of clanging, a grating sound. Right. I need all of you to.
Oh no!
Don't say roll initiative.
No.
Okay.
As you're all stood around the door, I'm going to ask all of you to make dex checks for me, please.
Oh no!
Just checks or?
Just checks.
Okay.
As you've all immediately started to argue and talk about swords and stuff.
You are not going to believe what I rolled.
Probably will.
It's a solid 1.
Okay.
+2.
Excellent work.
Well, you're not going to even believe that because I rolled a solid 2 plus 2, so that's a 4.
16.
Okay.
You said dex, right?
Yes.
21.
Are you sure it's not persuasion?
Okay. So, Adrian, you are able to kind of twist out of the way as the doors both basically open, but they basically open by sliding into the wall on either side, which means that the stone is immediately free and starts to drop to the floor. Grumbly and Truly both lunge out to catch it and basically end up smacking heads together, at which point Truly can make a roll on the wild magic table. And Demea manages to kind of neatly sort of slide in between everybody and catch the stone before it lands on the floor. Demea, the stone is now in your possession.
Probably a good thing.
Hey, I've taken very good care of that thing.
You have.
Are we doing all 3? Or are we doing just 1?
No, you just do the 1. It was just a little clash of heads. It wasn't any kind of big thing.
Oh.
That's always a good sound to hear.
She makes it sound a lot, though.
Yeah, even with...
And it never needs.
It's true.
She's gone very quiet, too.
Okay.
That really hurt my head. Why do you have such a big head? You have a big head. Ow.
Are you all right, Truly?
What happened? You said I could have
Penny,
my
check
thing
your
back.
DM.
You said I could have my thing back.
We're getting it back. Yeah, trust us. Yeah. Don't worry. We're getting it back for you. Demea's just she's polishing it for you, making it nice. Keeping it warm. It will be fine.
Okay. That's fine. Truly? Oh, hang on a second. We shall wait.
You guys are.
Yeah,
you
that's
guys
fine. Oddly enough, I rolled that as well. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Right, so truly, yeah, you kind of see stars briefly. Anyone who's sharp enough and paying attention notices a brief glow surrounding, which is now all too familiar and a bit trepidatious, surrounding.
Just
two
like, oh
stones.
no.
Just doing the thing.
Yeah. Right. So, other than that, though, nothing much seems to happen. The doors have opened in front of you. Before you stands a chamber. It is, pretty, magnificent by the standards of this dungeon. It is about 40 feet long. It is about 30 feet wide. The floor of it is basically made of white marble. The walls are in the same kind of white stone, which appears to be emitting the same sort of glow as the white stone in the room with the statue, but that's a bit odd because there are no torches here. What the other thing that you notice is that the floor at the end of the chamber where you are is probably a good 5 feet or so lower than the floor of the chamber, the far end.
Is it like a slope?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like a slope. Where you're currently standing, by the door, you're at the low point of the slope towards the high point of the slope, about 10 foot into the chamber from the far wall, essentially at the points of slopes up from the side of the chamber, the back of the chamber and the front of the chamber where you are. The floor leads up on all sides to an ornately carved white sarcophagus, which again seems to be made of a similar white marble as the rest of the chamber it does.
This is a really pretty. This is a really pretty room. This is like wow, and look at the work. Look at this. She's gonna like put her hands on the floor and just kind of like, it's like
Yeah, it's
look.
pretty.
Well,
We're about to go in here and fuck it up.
You don't. Why would you even? Hold on. You don't know.
We're not intentionally. I just think that tends to happen.
You don't know what kind of work goes into making it this perfect. This is so. You have no idea how disrespectful are you?
You know what? You're right. Show me on some of this stuff. Show me like the detail here. Take me over to something. Show me. I'll follow you.
So she'll get up and she's going to like push him down so he's closer to the ground, and then take his hand and she's going to just. Do you feel how smooth and how perfectly worked this is?
So Trulian and Adrian are now in the room, just on the other side of the threshold, admiring the floor. Demea,
I don't know if I'm
admiring.
admiring.
Yes, you are.
Oh, you're admiring. The workmanship is exquisite.
Demea's
and it's being described in great detail.
Demea's going to just very carefully walk around their admiration fest and
Truly reaches up and grabs her.
Now!
Check this out!
Oh. Like, pat her hand away, like, no, I'm not checking that out. I can't have the rest of the room. If you want your stone back, you'll behave, okay?
You're gonna see her like pull her hand down and be like, okay.
The man's gonna like pat her head like they're there.
Adrian's just gonna kind of push off of truly to kind of like get away, get some kind of distance between the two.
Okay, so I kind of got distracted by the floor fest. What else is in the room?
Basically a
Sarcophagus.
really nice floor, some exquisitely carved walls, and a sarcophagus that appears to
Alright.
have intricate carvings on it, which you're a little bit too far away to see.
So I was gonna
Okay.
say, is this a room that has like its own sort of magical lighting in it, or is it like, does it have holes from the ground that lead to like natural light?
It certainly appears that way. Yeah, absolutely.
So
Demeas?
Grumbly, hang on. Grumbly, what are you doing?
Grumbly's going to make his way down to the sarcophagus and kind of
fine.
have
So
a look.
Grumbly is the last one to step into the room, as he sort of nimbly skips around Adrian and Truly, smushing their faces into the floor. As you do this, Grumbly, the doors of the chamber slide shut again behind you with a clang.
Oh, no.
Great.
oh no! Look at the pretty doors they close.
Grumbly's just going to let out a big sigh and carry on walking up to the sarcophagus.
Okay.
I'm still kind of
DeMeo, what were
shuffling
you
my
doing?
way out of the way.
You just about to talk to me as well.
Yeah, Demea's gonna just go up to the sarcophagus and just try to not think about the fact that they're likely closed in here.
Okay. That's absolutely fine. So, you make your way up towards the sarcophagus. As you get there, you both kind of climb this gentle, sloping marble floor towards where the sarcophagus is. This sort of soft glow all about you, and you. As you get towards the sarcophagus, you realise that it is carved on all sides and across the top, with these sort of sweeping designs that you realise are a blend of all of the 4 designs which you saw on the pillars earlier. So you have knights with the gauntlet symbol. You have Goliaths clad in oak leaves. You have elves and unicorns. You have dwarfs and gems and mountains. But instead of being distinct on 4 pillars, they are all interspersed and winding around each other all across this casket.
So from the floor, she's going to say to Grumbly, please don't let him defile any more of the stuff. He honestly, like, he's probably gonna try and like flip the lid on that sarcophagus and just like rummage around in the chest cavity area, because he's just like, ooh, I wonder what's in there, you know? Like, he's so oh my god.
I just yelled back up at them, I do wonder what's in there.
Respect the dead.
Okay, Demea and Grumbly, I'll ask you both to make a religion check as you step close to the sarcophagus, please.
Because those have been going so well.
You passed the last one.
Clearly, I got a 4.
Okay, Grumbly, you basically see a well-worked bit of stone, right? And Grumbly's standing there and going, very, very good line there with the worked counter to the grain of the marble, and you know, and is sort of getting a bit technical and therefore not necessarily appreciating the overall picture. And Demea, you sort of realize that you're sort of looking at the pattern and you feel that little breeze again kind of waft you, and you realize that all of these patterns, they spiral around the sarcophagus, and essentially they appear to lead to a particular point in the middle of the sarcophagus, and your eyes are kind of drawn to that point. And as they do, as they kind of reach that point, you realize that that bit of the sarcophagus appears to be starting to glow.
Truly will get up to marvel at this thing too, and to keep her eye on Adrian. That's it. She's sus of him disrespecting the dwarven dead.
Adrian's going to walk over to the to where the sarcophagus is, but not right up to it. I'm going to like look around it, to see if there's I don't know, any kind of writing around it or anything like that. Maybe like again, the necklace triggers anything, you know, to see, you know, just to see if there's anything like welcoming or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And as you kind of approach, Adrian, you're kind of looking around, and Demea's kind of lost in the pattern, and Grumbly's admiring the stonework, and Trudy's sort of glaring at you suspiciously from a fair way off. And the glow from this bit of the sarcophagus starts to intensify, and it takes on this sort of whitish blue kind of hue. And it's just as you're starting to step around to sort of the side of the sarcophagus, and that a form appears behind it, and this form is a little taller than you, Adrian, despite the fact you're a reasonably tall fellow. It sort of is glowing, kind of bluish white. It has the sort of haughty, elvish features that were probably once very handsome, but now seem a little spectral and indistinct. And you hear a slightly echoey voice, which sort of is just sort of almost sort of fades in and out a little bit, like it's sort of distant, but a little bit or a little bit indistinct, but kind of comes and goes, and it says, "An age has passed. I did not think to see the prophecy fulfilled, yet here you stand."
Wait, is he
Welcome.
the only one that can see and hear this, by the way?
No, you all can hear this.
Okay.
Everyone in the room can hear this. It says,
you.
"Welcome, brave souls."
Did you say a prophecy fulfilled?
I told you.
Yes.
I told you.
Yes, indeed.
It's the work of the orc wolves. I told you, and we're all together, and my rock is the piece that everything was missing, and then we can go into sunlight. Hi, Guy. Nice to meet you.
The sort of gaze kind of drifts over to you and says, "Well, a touch unconventional, perhaps, but all very well."
She started celebrating a little while ago.
I brought you water. I think this is the time I should give him water. Hold on. And she's going to give him the flask of water. Here.
He looks down at it and he says, "My time for the corporeal pleasures has passed, I fear."
Aw. Okay. Well, maybe I'll hold on to it then.
I think that would be best.
Okay.
Adrian's just going to say to the figure, "What is your name?"
He says, in a life in ages past, I was Sacriel of Lurkwood."
Lurkwood.
Indeed.
Wait, hold on. You are an elf?
He inclines his head in a nod.
What? Hold. Did you Can you tell us a little bit about this place? Because it seems like it has a very powerful story to tell.
She loves the floors.
These are really excellently well done floors. The dwarves know what they're doing.
He smiles at you and says, indeed they do. He says, yes, child of the infernal, but child of the mountain, I am happy to explain. For my part, what brief I am allowed to explain by the workings of the magic here. He says, for my part, I was the first abbot of this temple. It was built here in the dawn of the age after the time of the wolf.
Wait.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that last session about last sentence about the time after the time of the? I'm sorry. What? What?
He says, "Oh yes." He says, "I imagine by this time, much of it has passed into legend."
Not so much, buddy.
Yeah. I think Tamaya's brain just short circuit, and she's like, "What the fuck?"
Tamaya, she's gonna be like, Tamaya, the thing. Let's show him the thing. Our rock, my rock. Show him my thing. Show him my thing. See if
Instead, Tamaya's gonna pull out one of the amulets of the wolf people and just mutely show it to the dude, like, wolf.
He, if anything, his features become more spectral and distinctly angry looking and dark, and he says, alas, he says, it's as I feared. I was chosen as abbot of this temple and chosen to rest here, to revive every 100 years, to speak with the followers here and watch for the signs. But he says it has been many 100 years since anyone came to attend to me on my wakings. But there was another condition on my rest, and that is that there was a prophecy that when next the time of the wolf threatened, that brave souls worthy of the task might wake me from my slumber, and I would be able to do a little to set them on their way.
Well,
He looks around. He looks around at you, and his gaze lingers on Truly for a moment, and he says, "It seems that time may have come."
Well, as you're looking over at Truly, Jemaya might be feeling some like movement on her backside because Truly has started to dig into her sack to pull out the thing, her little amulet of the things. And she's like, "Okay, we're good now. No, that's fine."
I think Humphrey's gonna go down and be like,
Humphrey, she's okay. Trust me. I would never hurt her. She's my friend. Humphrey! I'm like holding the amulet up while I'm still like sitting there going like, it's fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And he's just like,
Humphrey, I thought we were cool, man. I thought we had some... stop squeaking at me. Guy! What about this thing, too? Time of the wolf, this thing. She's like...
He looks at it and he says, "Where did you come across this?"
This was because he, and she points to Adrian, had sex with a water nymphs, and she allowed us to have stuff as thank you for the sex that they had, and I got this from her pool, her deep well in the
Yes, well, I
bottom.
suppose there's never any guarantee as to how a prophecy will be fulfilled, I suppose, or exactly
was
who it'll be
fulfilled that day.
fulfilled by.
Yeah.
So he says, what you have there is one of the keys that could access this chamber, but he looks at it a little more closely and sees the glittering of the runes, and he says, but what you have there is something more. He says, you have there one of the keys to Wayland's tomb. He says, there's so much to explain, and the magic that ties me to this plane is weak.
You want magic? I have magic. I will power you up. Can I supercharge you? How do I supercharge you?
He says, alas, alas, the rituals that bind me to this plane are beyond the casting of fire or the unleashing of lightning. He says, there is a certain amount I am allowed to share, and a certain amount which, and he says that there is no time to talk through. The tale of the time of the wolf is one that has crossed many ages. He says, suffice to say that the enemy that saw my spirit bound here as messenger was a fearsome one that laid waste to this region long, long ago. He says when the world was young, he says the wolf spirit Fenris threw down an ancient and venerable dragon and stole his power. It says, and Fenris slumbered then for many millennia until he awoke in this region and set forth and ushered in the era known as the time of the wolf. And many died, and many regions were laid waste. The forests burned, and the mountains shook.
Well, if you are unable to talk for too long, can you please tell us the significance of why the wolves are why are they looking for these things? What is their mission? What are they trying to do, and how does it connect to us?
He says, if you are here, it can only mean that the next time of the wolf is close and must be stopped.
How did it get stopped before?
He says it was stopped because of Wayland.
And we can go to his tomb with this.
He says, yes, that may very well be your next step. Wayland was a warrior and a sage. In the last time of the wolf, Wayland and his companions fought against the tyranny of the time of the wolf. And Wayland used his magics to create 7 mighty weapons. And these weapons were used to drive Fenris into a pocket plane and seal him there with 7 threads of gold. He says, tell me, in your time, in this age, have there been lights seen in the sky, unexplained?
Yeah.
Many a time.
Wasn't that one time in the swamp too? Is it? No, I know. Anyways, I feel like
he says.
In the swamp.
He says, in that case, the mission is more urgent than you know, for the lights are undoubtedly a sign that one of the seals has been broken. The followers of the wolf have recovered at least one of the artifacts.
Could one of was the dwarf that resided here, the ruler of this place, was he one of the 7 friends that helped take down the last time the wolf was here?
He says there have been There have been many dwarves who resided here, he says, but none of whom numbered among Wayland's contingent. There was a dwarf in Wayland's companionship, and an item was crafted for him, and the nature of which I'm afraid I do not know. I know the story, but I do not know the exact nature of all of these items that you will seek. He says, what I can tell you is that one of them was buried in Wayland's own tomb, in a mountain not far from here.
Oh.
And the location of that tomb, which is unlocked, points by the stone in your possession, was known to many of us. He says, alas, through dark magics, the followers of the wolf summoned earthquakes to this region, and they rent the mountains, and the tomb was lost. He says, but if you have been encountering followers of the wolf, and he says, I sense their foul magic about various objects you carry. He said, if you have been encountering them, then it must mean one thing, that they have discovered the location.
And they're trying to get in.
But without
That
the key,
explains
they
the
may
stuff in the
find it
mine.
rather difficulty.
How many keys total?
Yeah, that was because this is, you said just one. How many were there again?
He says, I have slumbered for many hundreds of years. The followers of Wayland have worked to maintain the story, but it has passed out of mind, it would seem, and out into legend. There are those who would have sought to preserve the locations of various of these weapons and powerful items that you might need to try to track down, but alas, I do not know where you might begin.
So basically, you didn't write down any of the important information before you slumbered in your tomb.
He says, the only
She's
thing that
rough.
I could tell you, he says, the only thing I can tell you is that the items were scattered through the region. They were carried to all points of the compass by the followers of Wayland in order to keep them secret. And generally speaking, if you're trying to keep something secret, you don't tend to write everything down. He says, but looking at you, he says, I sense a connection in you to one of the deities of the original alliance.
Yes. Mielike.
It says, have you received no guidance in recent times? No inklings of where you might turn?
I've been having dreams of mountains and glowing lights.
He says, a sign indeed.
She hasn't spoken to me the last 2 days, but yeah.
Demaya, could your tutor, leader, person, friend that was murdered, could he have been one of the followers of Wayland, and that's why he knew what he was actually stumbling upon? Could that have been why he was killed, because he was one of the people that actually knew about that whole story?
I'm just gonna knock the wind out of Demea for a moment, and she's gonna, please contact her later when she is able to form words.
That should Demea, this is
when the last time of the wolf, before it was defeated, was there any kind of like a deadline that they had, a sign that they had gathered everything that they had needed before they were defeated? Is there anything that in the prophecy that told that they had to do it by a certain time or a certain event of a day or anything like that?
He looks at you with what can only be described as a sympathetic expression and says, the problem with prophecies is they're often annoyingly vague.
Yeah, they were very vague.
All I knew before I slumbered was that in the time when the time of the wolf would threaten again, adventurers would be called who would be able to forestall the return of Fenris, and I might be able to play some small part in setting them on the right road. As to exactly what that right road might be, I may once have known the location of one or two of the items that we speak. As I say, I know the presence of Wayland's party involved a dwarf, an elf, a Goliath, a man. There were others, but their names are lost to us now. I do not know the exact weapons that were wielded by each. I can tell you that what lore survived to reach me told of a mighty sword wielded by Wayland himself. There was also talk of a spear, of a hammer, and also a staff of some kind or a rod. But beyond that, the stories had grown in the retelling, even a few years after Wayland's own death, and by that point the weapons were secret and in hiding.
Should we go back to the office of your mentor? What if there was something there?
I'm worried that it may already be out of there because there's a dickhead of a cleric who thinks I'm responsible for my mentor's murder.
Hold on, wait. I got the solution to this. Let's murder the person that was accusing you, and then we'll ransack the office to find clues. That will solve everything.
So you want to murder another person at that temple and then again ransack, like basically recreate the events that transpired the night that sent her on her journey.
Than that jerk face who would assume Demaya would kill her mentor. This is so much bigger than that jerk face. I choose violence.
And at this point, the image of Sacriel begins to fade ever so slightly.
Oh, wait, Sacriel, no, wait. You said one of the items was in a mountain nearby. Do you happen to know the name of this mountain? At the time from when you were around, you were physical form.
He says the names may have changed over the years. He says the only thing I can he says in my time it was known as Ferris Peak, but it was the tallest mountain in the region.
Tallest mountain.
You guys, there's a mountain we're heading towards. We're heading towards the mines that's in the mountain. Everything keeps pushing us in that direction, but I still think we need to go back also. Like, not now, but we should probably also go back and deal with that jerk that accused Demaya of murder. Because I have a thing or say that I'd like to say or do to him, or both.
Just so you know, Shirley, though I appreciate that you're on my side, the person who accused me of murder, I wrote it down. I just found it. It's called Master Lemuel. And he's from the Order of a God of Justice and Order, and therefore his temple is heavily fortified, and I'm sure anything of importance you felt was in my mentor's office.
We
He's not very
are
deep within it.
destined heroes. This is what I'm taking away from this. We are destined heroes. He needs to take a step back and acknowledge that we are only here to solve the mystery and beat the big bad guy. And if he doesn't, then I will put my foot up his ass. And then I hope that you go ahead and just like have like a, you know, a finger wagging moment too. Like
Sacriel fades a little bit more and says, yes, he says perhaps where I'm going next, I might have a word with Destiny and ask just what it's planning. It seems a little confusing to me at the moment. He casts his eyes towards you, truly at this point, and he says, in my time on this plane, as his voice becomes a little bit fainter, he says, I was a spellcaster of some small renown. He says, child of the infernal, child of the mountain, I recall you critiquing your bold companion here for, what was it, rummaging in the chest cavities of the deceased.
Yeah, he's rude.
He says if it makes you feel better, I grant you permission to open my tomb. You may find something within that might aid you on your quest.
I'm grateful for your permission, Adrian. Sir, thank you.
It could have meant anyone here.
You know what? This guy just gave us permission to...
He fades a little bit more as to become almost insubstantial now, and before he fades out of sight, he says, I wish you good fortune. He says, above all else, the time of the wolf must be prevented.
Thank you, friend. It was lovely meeting you. I'm sorry for what I'm about to do, even though you gave me permission. Demea, this was so big for you.
Demea's feeling a little bit of pent-up rage, and she kind of wants to take out her hammer and just break the nearest thing.
No. So Shirley puts the thing back in her pack, the thing back in her pack, and then you just kind of see her just like, no. And she like kind of just like the almost grabbing like kneading thing that a cat does, but she's doing it to get her into a hug, and she gives her a very fierce hug.
Yeah,
break something.
Grumbler's going to go in on this action and kind of can see this rage building up in her and knows what kind of happens when the rage reaches that critical point. He's going to sort of and then sort of nudge and wink at Adrian to sort of do his thing.
Adrian to do his thing.
Yeah, we're just going to shuffle you into the corner.
No, I'm hugging
Adrian
her.
is already
you guys
turned to
I'm hugging her.
Trying to shove it open.
No. Adrian, that's not for you. He didn't give you permission for this. Also, she needs our love right now, Adrian.
Still shoving.
Demea's like, I can break it open.
You guys, show respect.
Just
respect. Grumbly!
She's stronger than she looks.
Let me break it open.
I'm now putting my shoulder into it to push it open, using my body weight.
Hold on. Do I have a spell slot open still?
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know.
Hold on. I don't need one. I'm going to do a little bit of Ray of Frost at his shoulder just to kind of zap him back a little bit, just like.
I have felt the coldness from your shoulder many a times. I am immune.
Okay, I think
brushes it off. His spider senses tingle and he goes.
I'll take out my sword and kind of jam it into the sarcophagus to kind of start wedging it.
Holy crap, Adrian! Respect the dead!
Okay, so Demea's gonna take the opportunity of truly being kind of distracted by Adrian to just pick up her hammer and break the top of the sarcophagus.
No!
Okay.
No!
Make it.
No!
Okay. You hit it. Make an attack roll. Let's see if you crit it or not.
What is the matter with you people? We could have just gently lifted it off together.
Wait, attack pro is just the straight 20, no additional stuff, right?
Yeah. Just roll a d20.
A 12.
Please tell me
Okay,
that's
that's
not
fine.
enough. Please tell me it's not enough.
Go
Do
ahead
not
and
break
roll
the
how much
circle.
damage you get.
Well, I guess I did it two-handed, so I'll use a d10.
You're gonna hear her just going, the disrespect.
4.
Okay, that's fine. A crack appears in the top, but you have not broken it yet.
She's gonna like stand in front of this thing and she's gonna be like, guys, please, please,
Grumbly's going behind her and kind of got her by her waist and kind of.
please.
Maya's got like sparks out of her eyes because she's like, there's a big chance that my mentor lied to me all my life about how important he was. I am really pissed off, guys.
Maybe he was just waiting for you to be ready for it, that's all. He trusted you. He just wanted you. Come on, man. Come on. The disrespect.
Truly?
Hey.
I'm going to attack
hey.
it. You know what? It's not working where I'm trying to wedge it. I'm going to attack it with my longsword.
No, come on. Let's lift it gently. Let's lift it gently together as a team.
Yeah,
We're the destined heroes. We're the destined heroes. Teamwork is essential to this working.
Oh, dear.
That's a 19.
Okay, yeah, you hit it with a sword.
All right.
Yeah, that's disrespect.
That is a D8. And also, you know what? I'm also going to use.
This poor bit of stone.
Well, and then the
Yeah,
poor
I know.
spirit that just told us everything we wanted to know, and then gave me permission to gently open up his sarcophagus.
Fine, I'll just strike it. Ugh.
Let's just twat it.
Yeah.
Alright. Roll. We'll roll to see if you get a crit first.
I get 8. Yeah.
That's
Plus
not a
4,
crit.
so that's 12.
That's still not a crit.
Okay.
You guys, I
Roll damage.
no.
Oh, that was my roll for damage. It was a D8.
Epic.
Oh, you got 8.
Yeah, because
okay,
I had rolled a
that's fine.
19, so
So
it's 12
crack,
total.
The crack in the top grows wider. Some of the fabulous, lovely artwork carved over generations by dedicated followers of various gods is cracked and smashed away.
You guys are monsters.
I'm going to climb on top of the sarcophagus and just jump up and down
All
on
right,
it.
as you do that, I am going to literally, as you're in midair, I am going to push your legs so that you just fall onto your side. Truly's just like, I hope your hair, as you fall down, I hope your hair gets chopped off when you sleep.
Truly, roll to hit.
Do I get to roll like to?
Unfortunately,
Like a dex check?
I rolled a 3. What's up?
Yeah, that's fine. So you can roll a dex check in that case, Adrian, as you nimbly try to avoid Trudy's hit. See if you keep your footing on top of the sarcophagus.
That's a 10.
That's a 10. You stumble a little bit and lose your footing. At which point, let's see. You fall off the sarcophagus and land at the foot end of the sarcophagus, away from the rest of the people. You do not land on top of anyone else.
I put my feet up against the sarcophagus and I try to push it over.
Make a strength check. Are you trying to push the sarcophagus itself or the lid?
The lid.
Okay.
What did
Make
I
a
miss
strength
when my headphones cut out?
I'm just shoving it with my feet while I'm laying on the ground.
All right.
Adrian fell off the sarcophagus top while trying to dodge your attack, and is now lying on the floor.
19
Okay.
strength.
Can I punch him in the face?
It's 23. That's a 23.
Adrian, you push the sarcophagus lid in a way that would easily have pushed the sarcophagus lid clean off the sarcophagus had not some vile maniacs started smashing the lid of the sarcophagus. You push half the sarcophagus lid off, and the other half stubbornly stays exactly where it is.
Can I then punch him in the face?
You have dramatically revealed the knees and feet of the abbot of the temple.
Can I? Is that a no on me punching him in the face?
The man was the one that smashed it. You know?
She has rage issues and she's just traumatized. What is your excuse other than just having some sort of thrill at the defiling of a final resting place for this?
I wanted to get inside it.
What is the matter with you? Can I please punch him in the face, please? Okay, so Truly is going to hold up her hands and just be like, let's just see. We could probably see what's in here without...
You know what would probably really work? If you use that, like, loud thunder thing that you do.
If I wasn't exhausted, I would have done it by now.
Listen. I will blow your face to pieces, sir. We can... Okay.
Truly, did something happen to the floor over... I think there's something wrong with the floor over there. Go check.
Okay, so there's, I gotta think of something. What can I throw at his face since you won't let me punch him, obviously? She picks up her shoe and she throws it. Shakes one of her shoes off and she throws it at Adrian. Grumbly, please, just grab the other side and we can gently preserve this last piece, please.
Yeah, Grumbly's going to run over to the other side and grab it with Truly and gently slide the other bit off.
Okay. Is that fine?
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Revealed within is the corpse of an ancient elven abbot. You have he's wearing fairly standard looking robes, which have obviously rotted away quite a lot over time. These are skeletal remains on all of that. What you end up with is seeing that there are various where are we here? There are various bits of jewelry about his person, but they're all fairly basic. Nothing particularly remarkable, except for on his brow is a fine golden diadem, which kind of wraps about his forehead and it sort of extends into the wispy remains of his hair. And in the middle of it, a very finely cut red gem sits.
Can Truly, as she's gently taking this off, she's be like, I am so sorry for all of them. I know you gave me permission for this. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry for them. They're monsters. And also she has rage issues. There's no excuse for him. She's had a really hard time. She's gonna just keep saying this as she's placing this on her head.
That is absolutely fine. So you're able to lift it off. Obviously, you are immediately able to tell that this is a magical item. You will obviously require some attunement to tell exactly what it does.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. Can we show the least, smallest amount? And this is... can we please just put this gently back where it was? Like, can we please cover him back up? Because I'm really ashamed of us right now, collectively, except for Grumbly, of course. Honey, I know that you have had a rough day, but you still blasted the sarcophagus.
I didn't blast it. I hit it with a hammer because I'm too tired to blast it.
Can we? Okay, let's just.
Yeah, no one blasted.
Can we collect ourselves for a moment and show just a little bit of remorse for what has happened here after he was very helpful and he told us a big piece of the missing puzzle thing that now we know what we're up against and what we're doing? Can we please just?
I'm sorry, all I remember him mentioning is that there was a giant wolf that came here before and that he said, oh, sorry, I forgot most of it. So he wasn't that helpful, was he?
Well, at least we know why your mentor was killed. He did the best he could, Demea.
Demea would like maps. She would like charts. She would like spreadsheets.
She's like, I don't know, the identity.
She would like a quarterly PowerPoint presentation after every level.
She's like, my mentor died. I killed the guy I had a crush on. I accidentally killed the lady who had answers.
Itemized tables: number of wolves killed versus important artifacts found.
So let's. I gotta say, after just finding out that we are some sort of destined team to come together and do this big adventure together, we really got to start off some better footing. Teamwork is important. Maybe we should talk to each other more before we just up and defile this things like the dead. Yeah. So.
His corpse is fine.
Weren't you bragging to him about my friggin' exploits with naiads? I mean,
don't you?
No, I actually never mentioned them with it. I'm just saying, you just seem to bring it up an awful lot. This is a dead person here who's giving us, pertinent information to what's going on about the destiny and prophecy, and you're like, he banged a naiad, and that's how we got here.
Is that not the truth?
I think we could have just said we found it at the bottom of a lake, but,
I feel like that wouldn't have been as believable, or entertaining. So. And it doesn't give you permission to defile his sarcophagus. Let's not change the subject here.
He gave us permission to open it up.
He gave me permission to take the item off of him. He never said, just blast my whole resting place apart.
All the destined people come together.
I thought we found an appreciation for the work here, and you just ruined everything.
The floor's fine. I'm sure the floor is fine.
I'm sure the floor is disappointed in you too.
I don't think the floor has feelings.
I think it's a little hurt that you're messing with the beauty of this room, the history, the work. Anyways, are we please can we cover him up, please?
Fine. Adrian gets down on his knees. He pulls up his sleeve a little bit and just wipes the floor like a little. There, look. It's better now.
Voice of God can truly punch Adrian in the face. Please, can we do this like the Superman punch of jumping in the air, face punch?
You're very drunk.
Adrian, it's up to Adrian if he wants to allow PvP.
Do you accept my?
No, I deny her this moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Make a dex check for me, please, Truly.
Oh God! Don't punish me! Don't punish me for.
I'm not punishing you.
That's a 14.
Okay, you make what would have been a very nice face punch, but Adrian manages to just sort of pull back out of the way, and you don't hit him.
All right. Anyways, Grumbly, can you help me with the sarcophagus, please? I don't trust.
I sure can. Grumbly just sort of helps Truly put everything sort of back together, kind of.
As best as we can,
know.
really, with the big crack down the center of the,
That's fine.
It's a hole, too.
Truly, roll another dex check for me, please.
Okay. As we're doing this too.
No, sorry. Truly, roll a strength check for me, please.
Oh no. Oh, that's worse than Dex.
He's so
make a strength check
evil.
for me.
Strength?
With advantage because of your furious rage.
Okay, thank you. 14.
Okay, that's fine. So Adrian is down on his knees polishing the floor, going, "Look, is that better?" And you just manage to kind of like clock him upside the head with a bit of the sarcophagus lid as you go to put it back on the
Sloppy. That's very disrespectful to the sarcophagus.
Your face is disrespectful. And so she's just gonna be like, "This is why you and I are the only members of the Backdoor Club." To Grumbly. Honestly, what is...
Demea's just gonna turn on her heel and storm back to the door that I'm assuming is still closed.
It has now opened.
Oh, darn it, she wanted to smash it. She's like, the smashy feeling hasn't gone away yet.
I mean, if
Sure, there'll be
Demea wants
plenty.
to smash some things, there are some very convenient orc skulls lying on the floor.
That is true. She is gonna go and start smashing a whole bunch of orc skulls and skeletons.
That's
And
fine.
May
the
not
rest-
be
the rest-
using the
the
most
rest of you-
cleric words.
The rest of you still in the chamber hear, some sounds of bone smashing and some language that would be considered downright offensive for your aged mother.
I wish you would have done that from the start.
Adrian's just gonna get up and go check on Demea.
Adrian steps into the corridor, and the glyphs on the walls flare briefly, and then his feels a sort of sense from his holy symbol, and they stop flaring.
I feel better now.
Yeah, Grumbly's going to walk back
No.
out, kind of shaking his head, looking at all the bits of smashed skull as he walks back into the water pool chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I might. Yeah. Truly is gonna be right on Mucky's or Grumbly's tail, just like mumbling to herself, just like the words you can hear is disrespect. And...
As Truly leaves the chamber last, she hears a faint whisper on the wind, as if just a very infinitesimal trace of Sacriel's voice that says, "It is a lovely floor, isn't it?"
She's gonna have a little tear in her eye, like as she nods. She's not.
Oh God.
And at that point, our brave companions make their way out of the dungeon, squinting into the light of the afternoon. They find themselves back in the ruined shrine atop the hill. And I think that is probably a good point to stop and pick up there. I'm afraid I couldn't figure out a way to fit in the other two Wild Magic Redemptions, but we might just have to keep them for next time.
All right.
I'll refund.
Yeah, two of them. Do the 2 and the 3.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
So hashtag, you get your points back. Ms. Marvel, you're getting yours back. Zagron, we pleaded yours. Because she was very honest.
She was. She was.
I was very honest.
Not the most sane, I'd say, but she
I was probably the most sane. You guys just lost it.
That's amazing.
Listen, Maya just found out. I mean, it's not confirmed yet, but she just found out that her mentor probably was part of this whole secret club thing, just to keep the world safe. And he died before he could explain this to her. And she's like, "I'm really pissed off about this. I have questions, and I can't ask him because he's dead."
You should have asked him permission first if he could tell you before he was killed. Yeah. Great.
Yep.
The look she just gave into the camera was like, you motherfucker.
Let me just moonwalk away from this bullshit. Rage face.
It just makes me laugh that the whole tones comes from that GIF that you posted earlier. It's just, it seems to be the whole tone of the entire stream has been that. Nobody will ever know what that GIF is.
That's true, it does.
Hasn't it? It has.
Oh my gosh.
Without even knowing what was coming, it really fits.
It really has. It's weird. Looking at it and thinking, that's exactly... Yeah, it's set the tone for the entire stream. Nobody will ever know apart from us. They don't know what we're laughing at.
I'll just say right now, I've missed this. I mean, like,
God, yes.
This was, I think, exactly the best possible. Like, no combat needed for us.
No.
You kept trying to force combat, though.
Yes, yeah.
Why would you punch you in the face? It baffles the mind why you wouldn't allow that to happen. Honestly.
Look at this inanimate object. Ah, shit!
You wanted it too much.
It really makes me think of
Good Lord.
Viva La Dirt Leagues. It's like, I want to punch him in the face. Do you allow it? No. No.
Yeah. And he's just like casually talking and la la la, miss, la 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 la.
Do you allow it? No. I think I'm gonna honestly just keep attempting to punch you in the face now.
We're gonna be fighting some massive boss. Oh, we're on our last legs. She's like, I'm
Superman
gonna try to punch Adrian in the face. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
One of these days you're gonna allow me to Superman punch you, and it's gonna be the worst possible timing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Adrian's gonna be making death saves, and he's just like, I punch him in the face.
Oh God.
It's just a thing of who can smack Adrian the most during every session.
Make camp up top and just rest.
Oh yeah, I would desperately need that.
I think we should.
You guys can mark off a long rest.
Oh, thank God! I haven't had spell slots for how many sessions now?
Same.
That would have made it. Oh, if only you had spell slots, it would have made that whole sarcophagus thing so much easier.
Oh yeah, she could have. There was going to be shattering or thunderbolting happening.
No shatter for you.
Yeah. you know what? We're putting the shatter in the corner. All right.
Goddamn heathens.
Yeah.
But I like the shatter. It goes boom.
It does go boom.
It does go boom.
And normally I'm fine with it.
It's very good for stealth missions.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yes.
Super stealthy.
I mean, we survived. That's the whole point of stealth, right? Is survival.
After a massive pitch battle with 8 enemies, you didn't need to fight all at once.
Yeah.
I mean, we survived.
It was the principle of it all, you know. They were there.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't blow up the town, the camp like she was going to. So,
I mean, that's true. She did. Yeah. She did start a small criminal underworld in the town, though.
Yes.
You know?
We all.
So the song that gets created from this session, can it please be labeled "The Disrespect"? Because
It's still about.
I'd probably.
Thank you guys. Thank you to this wonderful team of creative chaos dwellers, to our wonderful DM, to you guys for being here and participating in the insanity as always.
Like a really good reception coming back into after being away for so long. Thank you so much for bearing with us through the holiday time and everything, the chaos that was happening amongst, so that we could come back and just.
It's true.
Such a welcome back. Thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Makes it awesome.
You guys
really
rock.
love it. It's you guys watching it that make it all worthwhile.
Absolutely.
And do art.
And do more art because we love it so freaking much, please.
And we're back. We're back.
And we're
So-
back. So we'll try.
Back
We'll try
bitches.
for 2
Yeah,
weeks from now.
I need
And
need Octavius as well in there.
Nope. Raid's about to go.
yeah. We'll see you guys next 2 weeks from now.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry. There we go.